Good afternoon, friends. Today I have with me Dr. Rohit Modi. Let me introduce you Rohit Modi. He has done his training at prestigious IV Prasad Eye Institute and later became Fellow of the Royal College of Surgeons and International Council of Ophthalmology based in United Kingdom. He has been trained at Associated Retina Consultants in US. He is an eye surgeon, a diabetic eye disease specialist. His passion is eye care and helping patients to reverse their disease using the diet. Dr. Rohit Modi is vegan and along with his wife, his brother, his sister-in-law, they run their hospital called as Centra Clinic and Hospital, which provides eye care, ENT, and skin solutions. So, welcome, Dr. Rohit Modi. Very happy to have you here today, and thank you very much
Thank you.
for agreeing to be here. So,
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
so Dr. Rohit Modi, eye surgeon and vegan. How did it happen?
So last year, I was introduced to the concept of whole food plant-based diet by my fellow retina specialist, Dr. Anand Kumta, in one of our conferences. And I was really impressed by his talk. And around that time, after trying for a few days, I decided to give up dairy completely. I have been a vegetarian all my life, and in my house also we have vegetarians, or rightly, if I say lacto-vegetarian. So we have dairy, and and I immediately, within a few days of starting this, stopping dairy, I lost a few kgs, and I felt wow. But for next 6 months, I didn't do much about it, and intermittently there was sometimes when there was ghee or butter added to my food, and I was okay with that, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
Around 6 to 7 months back, when the lockdown happened, and I started reading more about this online, and I started reading books written by Dr. Michael Greger, Dr. Neil Bernard, Dr. Brooke Goldner, Dr. Garth Davis, and hearing their talks on YouTube, I realized there is so much as a doctor I can do for my patients. So that time I decided to go for whole food plant-based diet. I told at my place, in fact, my father also supported me, that I wouldn't touch any of the dairy products, nor I would have any of the junk food in terms of bakery, farsan, or namkeen, or processed food. And till date, within 5 to 6 months, mind you, I eat a lot. I do not starve. I've lost 17 kgs. My wife has lost 12 to 13 kgs. My mother has lost 8, and my father has lost 10. In fact, my bhabhi has also lost 14, but she was slightly on a different diet. So, if we can, not count that, that's also fine. So, at an average, everybody has lost weight and nobody is starving. We are eating a lot of salads, dal, and you should look at my meal. In fact, I'm eating much more than what I used to eat. And slowly I started implementing it in my practice also. And I see that a lot of my patients who follow it strictly, they come up with fantastic results. In fact, a few of them have called me within a week of starting the diet and telling me, डॉक्टर साहब हमारे को पसीना आ रहा है, हमारी शुगर कम हो रही है, हम लोग क्या करें? And then when they go to the diabetologist, invariably their medications are cut down by half. In fact, one patient, the medications were completely stopped. One doctor friend of mine, he's quite senior to me, he has vitiligo, and first time in his life the skin pigmentation is coming back. Other patients, psoriasis has recovered. One patient who's on dialysis, he says his activity level has significantly gone up. He feels much better. His, he was taking some iron supplements that has, completely stopped. So I can, keep on going this way. I can, in fact, share a few patient videos where how they have changed. And second was when I started watching documentaries, I realized there is a whole ethical aspect to it and a environmental aspect. It's not just I was saving myself and my patients, I was saving the Mother Earth for my children also. So I would request everybody, go for whole food, plant based diet, save ourselves, not only ourselves, but our planet for our own kids. That is the biggest heritage or inheritance we can give to our own kids.
I completely hear you because this is something that is a secret, I think, to the health. First step to becoming healthy, I think, is what we eat, and that is completely missed, in our education system. And when you complete the circle and go back to just eating right, not even exercising, but just eating right, just putting what is your food, really, and then the transformation happens almost effortlessly. You agree with me? What were the family
Yes, it was
challenges?
an effortless transformation for me.
Yes, right. And
Yeah,
go
so
on, go on.
family challenges. Yes, ma'am. Family challenges. It took initially some time to convince everybody, and there are four doctors in a family who are super specialists, and everybody is trained abroad, and everybody has a scientific mind. So when they saw me eating so much, and they were concerned when I was stopping dairy, that where I will get my calcium from, will I develop any deficiency? And I tell you, in last 6 months, everybody is having that green smoothie. Everybody's having that salad. In fact, now the norm in their house is whatever Rohit is eating, they are eating. And they are seeing transformation because we have a lot of common patients who come to the clinic. So they are seeing transformation in those patients also. So now everybody believes the way to go ahead is whole food plant-based diet. No doubt it was not a very straightforward journey. Still, not everybody is vegan, though everybody does believe in veganism, and obviously the usage of animal products have gone down. I'm a true vegan. I do not use any of the animal products. For others, it's a gradual process. And whoever is listening to this, one request for all of you who believes in veganism, please stay patient, believe in your family. They will also give up animal products. They will also believe in your vision. It will just take some time. It's a gradual process. Everybody takes their own time to give up something which they dearly love, or they had a notion it was healthy.
True, but now since it's coming from a medical doctor with now some incredible personal experience, the things will definitely take a different course. More people will listen and pay attention what the doctors are saying.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm. Do you want to add anything to this?
I really want to congratulate Dr. Rupa Shah. She has been, a pioneer and a torch bearer for this revolution of ours. And again, a request from my side that please adopt a whole food, plant-based diet, save ourselves, our family, and leave a healthy earth for our kids. I would like to again thank Dr. Rupa Shah ma'am to come up with this wonderful initiative. A lot of love and respect from my side, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Rohit Modi. I truly appreciate your time. So, friends, now I would like to introduce you another eye surgeon. Wow, we have like, MDs, MS coming up, one by one and speaking about vegan lifestyle. So let me introduce you to Dr. Sharang Wartikar. Sharang is a retinal surgeon practicing in Thane since 2008. Previously, he was a hardcore non-vegetarian, turned vegan since 2018, mainly for ethical and environmental reasons. Earlier, you heard Dr. Rohit Modi for health reasons, and then later on, the ethical aspects came in. But here we have Dr. Sharang, whose entry point is ethical and environmental reasons. But he have also personally benefited immensely, he says, health-wise. His hobbies are trekking, playing tennis, photography, sketching, singing, playing sitar, and recently have found a new love working on his own fitness and cooking lots of vegan dishes. So it looks like lots of your hobbies are also matching with many of mine.
Okay,
But
nice.
as I grow older, I have given up like playing sitar and all those things.
Oh, you used to play nice.
So, Sarang, how did it all begin?
So, like you mentioned in your introduction itself, that I was a non-vegetarian. That's how I was born and brought up. So, as a child, you don't really think much. Whatever is kept in your plate and whatever obviously your parents are eating, it is understood that it has to be normal. And it is everywhere you go, you see everyone eating. So you don't really stop and think what is happening. And one day it so happened that I was walking and I saw this sign there's a bird there, you should hit a moving target. And I got shocked. I said, why should I hurt a poor bird for no reason? He said, you are eating chicken, and that time you don't have a problem, and you have a problem hitting a bird. What's the sense? And that suddenly made me realize that there's so much hypocrisy involved in what I'm doing. So that time, that was in 2000, I gave up non-vegetarian. I became a vegetarian and I was having eggs also because logically to me, I couldn't correlate it with any death of any animal. I thought there's no harm in doing that.
So somebody
And
asked you to kind of throw a stone at the moving bird.
at a moving bird, I was practicing with an air rifle
I see.
and I was practicing on a target, a wooden target which I had made on my own and I was just
Ah.
practicing. And so my uncle said, Arey, this is so boring. You hit that bird sitting on the tree. That is more exciting and more challenging. I said, I don't want to kill a bird unnecessarily because nobody wants to be very frank. It's just that we don't see the actual killing happening in front of our eyes. What we see is the, packaged, nicely made dish, which is okay for us. But if you actually ask somebody to go and kill a bird, nobody is going to do that, even if they want to eat the chicken. So that really made me think, and I gave up non-veg at that time. No fish and meat I gave up, but egg and milk I was still consuming. Till in 2008 I came across this just random video, which was circulating, I think, through WhatsApp, which actually showed the reality behind dairy and poultry, the business which is there. And I was so scared. I was like, what is happening here? And I was so unaware of all these things. I'm a doctor, and for 40 years of my life, I was unaware of this. It was such a shock. But believe me, next day I turned vegan.
But didn't you, as a part of your prevention and social medicine uh, curriculum, as a subject, we were taken to a Devnar, Abeto, and a full day visit was there for us to see, how they say that it's all clean and how the animals are. And I
No,
have
so
a
we
very
we were
strong
never
memory of
taken.
it.
Oh,
I
okay. No,
spent an
we were never
entire day.
taken.
No? Okay.
No, no, no.
Mm,
We were never taken, so I have never seen the reality.
I
And
see.
what we see on the advertisements and all is obviously a made up thing. And those are the images that stay in our mind. And the industry takes absolute care to ensure that the reality is never brought out. Now, thanks to people like you and others who are doing all this great work, that people are becoming aware of what is the reality. And to be
Exactly.
very frank, I didn't think whether it is healthy, whether I'm going to benefit from it, what is going to happen. To me, it was very simple. I cannot be a part of this kind of cruelty, and that's it. So I just gave it up. And the next day, incidentally, the day I gave up happened to be 1st November, which is the World Vegan Day. So that was a coincidence. And I realized that there are other benefits also, and the environmental benefit also struck me quite a lot because there's so much that is going down the drain, all resources just because of animal rearing. And if you look at it, 7 billion humans and like what 70 billion animals raised, it's crazy. I mean, it's so much food which is just going waste, which humans can directly eat, especially when there's so much hunger and water shortage around. It is criminal. And I have two children, I have two kids. uh, 5 years and 10 years. And I don't want to, I mean, I am trying to think what kind of a world I want to leave behind for them. And certainly, going vegan is one of the best things that you can do for the planet and also for yourself, which is a very secondary thing for me, actually, to be very frank. But let me tell you, in the past 2 years, I've benefited immensely from this. My fitness levels have gone up like anything. And I don't know, I'm very happy with this. Although, to be very frank, I am not strictly a whole food plant based diet follower. I do eat a little bit of junk vegan food on and off. But as far as possible, I try to stick to whole food plant based. Yes,
Yeah, I mean, but becoming vegan, I think everyone is vegan in their hearts, right? We are
absolutely.
born, but some kind of social conditioning and some, you know, our own ignorance, or sometimes like, media shows us a happy cow. Where is the happy cow? Or a
True,
happy
true.
chicken dancing? No. If we are going in the farm and if we see apple and we may also see a chicken, I think our mouth will salivate when we look at an apple
Yeah, absolutely.
or a
And we would
mango.
probably want to go and pet the chicken.
That's
You know?
right. That's our, yeah, our instincts are of that kind. Our
Yes.
mouth will salivate when we see fresh vegetables and fruits. So some recently there was an advertisement when somebody walked into the shop and asked for a fresh in the meat section, and
Yes.
then they just brought the, what was it?
Lamb outside. Yeah,
Lamb,
yeah.
and then this were very heartbroken, like how that happens.
Absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
So welcome Anuradha. We are chatting with Sharang about his vegan journey, and it's really very fascinating that from different point of view we all come back to the same point of harmlessness, something that even like when I turned vegan at the age of 47, it was in a month's time, it was like a new birth. I was shocked of my life that I didn't know about all these things. As if a dark curtain was lifted from my consciousness. And then truly now I realize now is the time. Now it's my life beginning. Now I honor, and for few months I also felt from the sadness, depression and guilt of harming animals for my benefit and my consumption. So now it's been
My
of
my
course.
mother, by the way, who's now turned 73, she's
Mhm.
turned vegan now after looking at me. So now she's
Oh,
vegan. And
very nice.
yeah, my children, both my children, they want to turn vegan. My daughter is pretty much there. She's given up milk, no milk. Even my son doesn't have milk anymore. But at times, if somebody gives some sweets or something, they are unable to control their taste as of now. But in their hearts, they want to just follow what I'm doing. So and they're also seeing the benefits. Everyone at home, obviously see the benefit that a person is getting out of.
Yes, I think the best way of inspiring others to go vegan would be by just us living the lifestyle, by being
True.
one. And if you remain there, then on the way they'll start coming in. In my family also, right now not everybody, but my both the brothers are vegan already, and my father, he's 88 now, he's also a vegan. He's been also vegan for a very long time, like more than 10
Oh,
years or something. So on my side of this family, we all, but not my spouse yet. It takes time. I think it's their own journey. They'll make their own informed decisions whenever the time is right. But was there also extended family and friends who are asking you lots of questions of this
yes,
way of
absolutely.
lifestyle?
So I was basically off Facebook, but when I turned vegan, I decided, I should share my experience with everyone. So I got back on Facebook and I started posting my videos, and it made me a little more adventurous also because I started cooking where
Yeah.
I had never stepped into the kitchen because I'm not a foodie per se. So whatever you give me, I'll eat happily. It's not that I need something. So I was never interested in cooking in that sense. But I decided I wanted to prove a point that even vegan food can be tasty. And I explored that, and I'm quite happy with what I'm doing. And fitness was another thing because I said, I must prove to the world that vegans can be fit. And I'm happy. I'm happy with what I'm doing. The other day I climbed like 202 floors. Just lockdown, we can't do anything. So in a day, 202 floors I climbed, just like that.
How did that happen?
So up and down in my building, we have like 18 floors building.
Oh,
So basically I enjoy trekking, and unfortunately in the lockdown we can't go trekking right now. So I said let's do it in the building, and I climbed it. And after 202, my wife said, "Now you don't go, go any further."
I think we seem to be having a lot of unlimited energies released and don't
True.
know what to do. So we can just do so many things, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I felt that suddenly my energies were like when I was 16 and 17, very, very healthy and never feeling tired and really nice.
Absolutely.
So
And the fun is in now, playing with the children, because now I don't get tired playing with them. They are the ones who get tired. So so that gives a nice feeling.
absolutely,
Otherwise, as medicos, we generally get married late, and we have children even later on. So
yes.
the age becomes a little bit of a factor. And then if you can't play with your children, I mean, what's the fun, right?
So I think the health and energy, everything is they are the side effects, and us becoming, aligned with the vegan cause is good enough.
Yes, yes.
Totally agree. So stay on. I also want to welcome Dr. Anuradha Ayyar today, who is here with us. Welcome, Anuradha. I'd like to introduce you today. Thank you for agreeing and spending time with me today. Basically, I want to introduce all these ophthalmologists who are vegan, and that's a very big thing. And they are all Indian, and they are all vegan. Entry point is different, and then later on, we all merge into the same pot. That's ahimsa or vegan lifestyle or a compassionate lifestyle. So Dr. Anuradha is a ophthalmic plastic surgeon, and she is a fellowship trained in oculoplasty, facial aesthetics, and ocular oncology from LV Prasad Eye Institute, Hyderabad. She completed her post graduation from Arvind Eye Hospital in Tamil Nadu, and she's currently practicing at various centers in Thane and Mumbai, and she's primarily consulting at her hospital, which is Oasis Care Center in Thane city, with special focus in her chosen field of oculoplastics and aesthetics. So welcome Anuradha.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for having me here. It has been a great fortune to have met you and come across you. You have been a source of never ending inspiration and as well as a guide in all our journeys. Thank you.
Thank you. So Anuradha, like I am so excited that 13, 14 years ago I heard the word first time vegan, and internet was very slow and I was trying to study about veganism. It was less, but something was available. But now I have so many doctor friends who are vegan, family, extended family, colleagues, they're all vegan, vegan food is available. So now the time is different. And now in the pandemic time, I see, of course, the veganism is growing at a very faster pace. Today, I want everyone here to know that look who is becoming vegan and for what reasons. Anuradha, you would like to share how you became vegan?
Yes, ma'am. I will let you know that I was raised in a strictly vegetarian family. So even when I was vegetarian, I was very vocal about animal cruelty. I always would have arguments with my meat eating friends. But then I was quite blind and ignorant about the fact that dairy industry was cruel. In fact, I was in my early 30s when I came across some videos and it sort of shocked me because I was foolish enough to think that I was getting all my proteins only through milk and milk products. And as a South Indian, I literally grew up on curd and rice, and I'm a big addict of Bengali mithai. So for some time, I think I did go sort of into a denial mode that maybe not all dairy is cruel. I did not think about it for some years, even after getting a little bit of information, say when I was 30, 31. So when I was 31, I finished my fellowship in India and I was in the US for a few months. So in the US, they couldn't understand the concept of a vegetarian. For them, at times, I mean, do you eat chicken? Do you eat eggs? There was a lot of confusion. So whenever I would go out, I would just tell them I'm a vegan. And recommended Whole Foods to me. And suddenly I found huge racks and shelves full of vegan products. And I actually tried them. And I was completely blown away. It was a completely new section which I had not seen in the Indian marketplace. So the couple of months, around 4 5 months that I spent in the US, I would say I was sort of vegan because of convenience there. But then when I came back, I again went back to my vegetarian ways. But then suddenly the term vegan sort of stayed in my mind. And even then, when I came back, this was in 2016. Again, there was no change in the Indian supermarket side. Everything was, there were no vegan panels, nothing. And it so happened that in 2016-17, my sister turned vegan because our entire family were animal lovers. And my sister started watching and reading a lot on animal cruelty and other industries. And once she turned vegan, I was waiting to see protein deficiency in her. And she was vegan for quite a while and she was doing very well. And that is when I sort of got into it. And one day I sort of made myself sit and go through certain documentaries on what actually happens in the dairy industry. And that is when you sort of confront your own hypocrisy and you admit it. And yeah, one fine day I sort of gave up dairy as well. But I'm at the core an ethical vegan. So I was convinced that I am going to be deficient in B12. I'm going to have a weakness, everything. But I thought I would rather fall ill than cause harm to animals. But then 1 year went by, 2 years went by. I was doing absolutely fine. In fact, I was doing better than before. I used to run a lot of marathons back then. And yeah, I used to run 30 kilometers, 35, 40, and I was still absolutely fine. But the difference between 2 years and the third year, there was a bit of a difference. As I was working and moving around, whenever these other hospitals, the doctors would offer me some tea or coffee, the ethical aspect of veganism was a little difficult to explain to someone who's not very empathetic towards animals. So instead of wasting my time telling them why I don't want to have milk, I still would just have that cup of tea coffee just to cut the conversation short. So, but then one fine day, I would say it's been close to 1 year now that I haven't had a single cheat day. And I think I told you this, ma'am, that there is a massive difference between being 99% and 100%. Massive
Absolutely.
difference. And even when I was vegetarian, we were not using leather. We were sort of quite particular about making sure that the things that we purchase do not have any animal components to it. So I'm very happy that this angle came in the picture. And over this duration, slowly, I learned about the health aspects of it. Um, Apart from just the health aspects, what makes me very happy is the fact that environmentally, it's the best decision a person can make. Like just sitting at an individual level, sitting right at your home by choosing what you want in your kitchen, in your fridge, in your plate, in the jars in your house, as an individual person without, say, joining the government or reaching a high position in life, accumulating a lot of wealth, starting a philanthropy. You, as a person in your own lifestyle, just by your shopping list, can make such a significant change for the planet, for the animals, for pollution levels, for environment, for your own health. So it is a very empowering choice. I'm very surprised that people still have so many misconceptions because of deceptive marketing. when the benefits are so enormous. I'll let you know this. I was slightly chubby, in 2016. I still used to have a lot of dairy back then. Despite running so many marathons, there was still resistant fat in my body. Since October last year, I got dengue. And it's 1 year of no exercise, literally no exercise. I'm just sitting, working, painting, playing my violin, nothing else I'm doing, which is not a great thing. But I am actually at the slimmest I have ever been just by following a whole food plant based diet. Crazy, right?
That's exactly, bringing back to our original shape. And
Absolutely.
people keep calling, "Arey, you look so thin. Are you sick or something?" Initially, they keep saying all that, but after sometimes they get used to. And after some time, they might say that they'll keep watching. How long can you go on like this? They thought it's a cult or it's a fad and it's some diet and you'll get over it or something. They just wait. How long will you suppress or control your desires? What do you think of that, Anuradha?
Suppress my desires, I'll tell you. In the first 2 years, I did give in, and once every 3 months, I used to buy half kilo of Bengali mithai and finish it in one go till I got like sick and tired. I think during the lockdown, I have a massive sugar craving actually. I still haven't been completely able to control it. But when I made the shift to veganism, my sugar craving reduced significantly. I'm not sure why, but it really reduced. So by then I could eat 1 kilo of sweets. Now maybe, just a small amount and I'm done. And I don't cook. I don't enter the kitchen. But during the lockdown, with a lot of time and sugar craving, and the fact that I became 100% vegan, I sort of looked into various recipes and I realized how easy it is actually. There are enough videos online, enough recipes online, simple recipes using hardly a few ingredients, which are easily available locally. You can actually make vegan healthy desserts at home and actually eat guilt free. You can substitute dates for sugar, and I think that bananas instead of using any other sweetening agent. And I had my fill of cakes actually for the rest of the year. So I think I'm vegan for life now because this year, especially, I noticed that not only that I'm losing weight, I say literally bethe, my energy levels are very high. Back then, I remember I used to do a few, if I do even one very complicated surgery, say over 3 hours, I would come back and sit on my sofa and start dozing off, like mentally exhausted. But right now, I think I have a German Shepherd dog. I think I'm as energetic as she is from morning till night. So I had this habit of falling asleep whenever I would be even mentally exhausted, not necessarily physically. I don't see that. So there was a time in a day I could do only one or two things. Say I work the entire day, the few hours that I have left, either I wouldn't be able to do anything or maybe just one thing. So, right now, I'll tell you what I do. Every single day, I play the violin, I practice a little of piano, I work, I see patients in the OPD, I operate, I come back, I paint, then I play with my dogs, and I still have time for Netflix and everything else. And again, I practice the violin, and I barely sleep for 5 hours. So it's
Exactly.
quite a magical decision, I think, changing the lifestyle. So once you experience a sort of guilt-free vitality in your own being, um, there is a certain degree of mental peace and calmness that comes in, which I think even science might find it a little difficult to explain. But I think a lot of long-term vegans have experienced that. There is this calmness, and I experienced a sudden burst of creativity flow. I really can't explain what happened. I thought I will start painting at the level that I'm painting in right now, maybe when I turn 45. So it's sort of freed up the mind significantly. I'm not as anxious. I'm not as obsessed with a very goal oriented, schedule. So I have also become in life a little more free flowing, I would say. So for me, physical as well as mental benefits, both of it made a big difference. I don't miss my Bengali mithai now.
I used to also eat rasagulla quite a lot, the dabba may say maximum would be, in my stomach very quickly. And milkshakes and butter, and I used to like all these things, I know. But overnight it just changed everything. So, also I find that whether food has power over you or you have power over food.
Absolutely.
So now it's like we are larger than food, and food nurtures us but doesn't call us, or addicts us or makes us dependent or something. You're satisfied, and it just nurtures your body. You enjoy, you relish, but that's not the only one. You have other beautiful happiness, pleasures of life that you have energy for, and you feel flow of life is something all of us, just flow along every day.
Since you mentioned the term addiction, the thing is, right now there are so many options for my sweet tooth. There is vegan Mysore pak. There are
Yeah,
which
melts
are
in the mouth.
anywhere. So right now, I really miss Mysore pak. So once I came across Vijay Sweets, whenever I have a craving, I just order. I,
Hmm.
so yeah, I don't feel I'm missing out on anything that I did when I was a vegetarian. Again, if I want to have dahi, I think Chetran soya dahi. I'm literally having it every day. So I do not see a change in my plate at current day compared to what it was like. Even the vegan butter options, we've tried plenty of brands, and right now we stick to certain brands that we like. So yeah, it's not the healthiest way, but once in a while, some indulgence, guilt-free indulgence, cruelty-free indulgence works. The other area wherein my sister sort of helped me to get into is buying vegan products when it comes to soap and shampoo, conditioners, cosmetics. So she did a lot of research in that area. So I'm very happy about that. So I do believe that people who have a serious addiction to, say, non-vegetarian food or animal-based food, but they still want to start somewhere, this is an area, You're not going to eat your soap, right? Soap, shampoo, conditioners, cosmetics. You can always start there by choosing products that are cruelty-free and vegan, because these products are also less, they have lesser toxic chemicals in them because they are not animal tested. The products used are of higher quality. So I definitely tell my friends and people who ask me about this that you can at least start there. And once you get there, automatically your motivation for shifting your food habits will also be there. Wouldn't you agree, ma'am?
Totally. I mean, you have to start where you are.
Correct,
So
ma'am.
I was thinking that, Sharan, you remember, did you all do physiology experiments with frogs, and there were like live frogs, and we used to have one frog every week on our table for
Yes, yes.
experiment. We used to pay just something like 1 rupee or something, so the frog will be pulled out from the tank. And the person called Ramchandra used to do something like stunning, and the frog would be still alive, the heart would be beating, and put the hook on and do the
So
experiment.
we were the ours was the batch when it got cancelled.
I see.
And that whole practice got scrapped when
Mm,
we just passed out and we were in the medical school.
yeah.
So that is the time when they stopped that.
Just thinking that like we did all these things, killed so many animals, for our just experimentation and knowledge. It's really, now I find retrospectively what a cruel way, but we just took it for granted. And earlier we used to say, no, if you want to go to medicine, you should be having very strong heart, because if you can see dead body and you can see dead animals and you can do experiments, then only you should go for medicine.
Hmm.
Actually, the all of us are very soft in our heart and always compassionate. And I always say that ahimsa is the language of every heart, really.
Absolutely.
Mm. Sharon, you also had to replace a lot of non-veg food at home with something look-alike in vegan.
So, like I said, the non-vegetarian I gave up almost 20 years back.
Mm.
And since then, I never found any
I
replacement. I'd never wanted that. And
mm.
even for dairy, when I gave up, I never looked out for any replacement. So I am not much of a foodie. So it's not a big deal. But when my mother turned vegan and my kids wanted to turn vegan, I knew that, I had to give them some replacement, because for kids, it's not so easy. Although they understand once, and that taste is so addictive, the ice cream and cheese and everything, that I started looking out. And in fact, I started making things on my own. So I have made soya milk on a regular basis. I make peanut curds on a regular basis. And it's very easy. I mean, it hardly takes any time to do all these things. And even if you don't want to do it, there are enough options, like Anuradha said, where you can just buy it and you can get all these things. Then I started making cakes, pastries, biscuits, all vegan. But then I realized that, to increase the taste, we are putting a lot of sugar and things like that, which I was not very fond of. So now I have shifted to making desserts which do not have sugar, and even no oil. So I think Anuradha can vouch for that. I had given her some cakes, and so it's amazing. Just use dates, use banana. Banana is like the king of fruits for me. I have it every day on my smoothie, and I have soya milk with banana. So that's the best thing.
Do people ask this question to you that you all look 10 years younger than your age, I think?
Yes, yes. So people have said that you have started reverse aging. So that is something else that I've heard. Yes,
Yeah, Anuradha,
definitely.
you look 10 years younger than your age.
Well, ma'am, people do mistake my age. Yeah, that is true. In fact, sort of an embarrassing incident happened for the other person. There was a student of ophthalmology, 25-year-old, who on Facebook contacted me and started chatting with me. And I had to tell that guy, dude, I'm your senior and I'm 10 years older. He thought I was exam going in post graduation like him.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah, I think the world is watching us and is making a note of it. And the time will come when this will become the lifestyle. This is what my dream is. It is happening at a rate faster than I think.
Yes,
It's spreading like a wildfire across the globe. I heard so many big new food companies are actually coming out with vegan options a lot more. So I mean, whether we use the word I'm vegan or not vegan, the world is going vegan. Even those who may consume a lot of, say, non veg food, but once in a while now they start eating vegan food. That's good enough, I always say. Even if you just eat vegan on a Monday and say vegan Mondays, that also will do. Whatever changes you may, introduce, that would be good enough, for the planet, for the animals,
absolutely.
for us as well as human being. I'm very happy. Thank you very much for such a nice, casual, vegan conversation with all two of you. And also, there was Dr. Rohit Modi who came earlier, but he had to leave. So I had to start chatting with him earlier and let him go. So I think there are also more ophthalmologists who are inspired by your stories. And
Yes.
today, once and we release this story in Global Vegan Expo, my purpose is that people from all walks of life, all varieties, all angles, all facets are coming to the same thing, to live a life of harmony and a life of complete peace and love. This is what also I feel is the solution for our pandemic, because if you exploit animal, if you remain very close to the animals, you're inviting those viruses and you get it back, what you have done to them. So the law of karma will work as well over there. So thank you very much, Anuradha and Sharang, for
Thank you,
today
madam, for
taking
having
out.
us here.
And
Always a pleasure.
it the in the expo session, this will be there, I think, one of the days in the afternoon or something, this session. And there will be people who will be asking questions. So,